Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of Before My Morning Coffee. This is Lisa Freed here, and you are listening to Rebel Hearted. I don't know about you, but last night was an interesting sleep around here, and I woke up having a nightmare and actually screaming out having a nightmare. And the beautiful thing about the ranch is that we all sleep in pretty close quarters because the house is very cozy, which means I woke up the entire household with my crying out. Nice. Anyway, this morning when I sat down and I was wondering what it is that I could talk about, what came to mind was calming the chaos. Calming the chaos. Because let's face it, the years, like the days may feel long, but the years pass quickly, and there can be so many shifts and changes that happen moment to moment that we can be left feeling like we're reeling. We can be left feeling like we don't even recognize where we are in any given moment. We can feel really overwhelmed, especially if we have said things that, if we have said yes to things when a firm no could have been the best answer. Do you know what I mean? You feel me there? Have you ever fallen for that trap? I definitely have. And it's always my desire to improve in that area. So typically I won't say yes to something immediately, unless it's like a deep resounding yes. I will say I need 24 hours to think about it so that I'm just not adding unnecessarily to my already very full plate. And when I was thinking about how is it that you can calm the chaos, what came to mind first is prayer. Pray. Pause, pray. And remember, our God is so good. Our God is so big. Our God is so powerful that any problem is minuscule when it comes to God. Now, if you are not the praying sort, no problem. I invite you to breathe, to just intentionally breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And recognize that there is peace to be found in every breath if we're willing to find it. And when we're intentional about that pause and taking that breath, we notice that our nervous system slows down. Things aren't as frantic. We can repeat the process over and over if necessary. And we're not needing to rush into that next moment, We can just be present with this one and enjoy the gift that exists in this one. Now, if you're like, that's fine, Lisa, you have told me to pray. Great. You have told me to breathe. Well, dude, I do that anyway. But what is the other thing that I can do that will really calm the chaos? And when I was talking yesterday and teaching with Crystal Paulus and her audience, one of the things that we talked about is how clutter is a representation of our mind, right? Our subconscious mind. So physically clearing clutter, putting things back in their right place, just tidying something can be really, really helpful. Now, I know that we've all started those projects where we've been like, I'm going to clean the clutter. I'm going to declutter today or this weekend or whatever. And we've taken a fairly outwardly clean looking place and turned it into a disaster, ran out of motivation and steam, and thought that did nothing to help me calm the chaos. One of the things that my mom taught me years and years and years ago, we'd play a game, is how much can I get done in 15 minutes? How much can I get done in 15 minutes? And set a timer and declutter for 15 minutes. And then set the timer for 15 minutes and do whatever you want for 15 minutes. And go back and forth like that throughout the day. That way you are feeling rewarded for the work that you're doing. And you're able to take your mind off of it for a moment. So you're not burning yourself out. You're not finding yourself trapped in that frustration. You'll be surprised at how much you get done. If you want to supercharge that even, then my recommendation to you is this. Take before and after pictures. Before, progress, and after pictures of what it is that you're working on. And you'll notice that your work, your efforts are accomplishing things. Because a lot of times we forget. A lot of times we're like, if it doesn't look like this in 2 minutes, then I did not get that immediate gratification that I was looking for. This is stupid. I'm so over it right now. Now tell me you don't do that in areas of your life and business or in your relationships. I can tell you my hand is raised. I have firmly done that many, many times and likely will do it again today at some point. So taking before, progress, and after photos, you're really noticing the work that is unfolding there, the calmness that is coming into that space. So just to wrap this up and remind you, if you're feeling that overwhelm, if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're feeling chaotic, prayer is where I go and where many, many, many others go. I can even, one that I use, especially when I'm getting worked up and I want to control a result. Have you ever been there? You ever want to be the control freak and control an outcome? I will say, I cast this burden, whatever this burden is, right? My need to control this project, my need to control this launch, my need to control this other person. I cast this burden, this need of control, to the Christ within, and I go free to carry on about my day. And there are times in my life, especially when I was preparing for my Costa Rica retreat, and in preparation for that was to go with the flow, but there would be times where I wanted to be a control freak. I couldn't even tell you how many hundreds of times a day that I went into that prayer. So prayer works, right? And you just give it up to God, and God's like, yeah, I got this, right? Don't worry, we're good. Breathe, find peace in every breath, and then actually physically calm the chaos by cleaning for 15 minutes or decluttering for 15 minutes, whatever that looks like. Set a timer, take pictures, 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off, and you'll find that you'll be feeling better right away. In fact, you could do all of those things, go through one round of all 3 steps in less than 20 minutes. And let's face it, when we're overwhelmed and we like to think we don't have 20 minutes, we're going to waste 20 minutes trying to get our mind in order, our body in order, our brains on board. So pray, breathe, clean, and declutter. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Before My Morning Coffee. I'm going to go make myself a coffee. And since we're still at the ranch, I'm going to make myself a coffee and then go out to play. It is mule driving day. So super excited about that. I wish you guys a day as beautiful as you. In just a couple hours, top 3 tips episode of Rebel Hearted will be releasing. So I invite you to give that a listen as well. If you're like, hey, I kind of wish that you would at some point talk about XYZ, drop me a line. Get in touch. My email is friedtlisa@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Or you can find me on social media, Lisa Fried Tea. Send me a friend request, send me a message, let me know you're listening. I always love to hear that. And I will definitely be back tomorrow. Sending you so much love. Bye for now, everyone.